You cannot capture a man's entire life in 2 hours. All you can hope is to leave the impression in one.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking at movies released from the 1980s onward that were completely or nearly all presented in black and white.
Look at me, George. Look at my face. That meeting's not for me.
Number 10, The Lighthouse. Robert Eggers' second feature centers on two men sent to look after a remote island's lighthouse, which could either be a beacon of enlightenment.
Bad luck to kill a seabird.
More tall tales.
Bad luck to kill a seabird.
Or insanity. Along with the boxed aspect ratio, the film creates a claustrophobic sentiment through Jaron Blashka's black and white cinematography. The Lighthouse keeps us in the dark with its characters, emphasizing that the only escape is into one's own madness.
What?
What?
Although the studio argued that a color film would be easier to sell, Eggers had envisioned this gothic 19th century horror story in black and white since the scripting stages. Blashka shared Eggers' vision, seeking to give the film a transportive ambiance. Black and white not only makes us feel like we've been transported to another world, but another mental plane as well.
Dance, Winslow!
Number 9, Ida. Black and white is an ideal way to convey a transitional period in a person's life.
Wracasz do zakładu?
Do zakonu. Wracam.
Na długo?
Na zawsze.
This Oscar-winning film follows a Catholic nun about to take her vows. Upon meeting her only surviving relative, the titular Ida, or Anna as she's been called most of her life, learns that her parents were Jewish.
Jesteś Żydówką. Nie powiedziały ci przez tyle lat.
Accompanying her aunt on a road trip, Ida/Anna questions who she was, who she is, and who she'll become. This journey of self-discovery is largely internal, but Łukasz Żal and Ryszard Lenczewski's cinematography hauntingly visualizes the gray era our protagonist is in. Channeling Polish films of the 1960s, Ida is a time capsule in more ways than one, immortalizing a young person's turning point while also confronting the sins of the past.
Byłaś maleńka. Nikt by nie poznał, że jesteś Żydówką. Zaniosłem cię do księdza Andrzeja i zostawiłem.
Number 8, Belfast.
When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this.
Some films utilize black and white to bring out a sense of warmth and comfort that can only come from fond memories. Others use black and white to underscore a difficult period from somebody's past. Belfast blends both moods in a story where nostalgia goggles can only romanticize so much.
Now, forget about what your father and your mother want. What do you want?
I want you and my granny to come too.
Writer-director Kenneth Branagh based the semi-autobiographical film on his upbringing in the titular Northern Ireland city. While Branagh will always have a strong connection to his hometown, The Troubles serves as a reminder that all good things are fleeting, childhood being one of them.
Kids the same age as ours are getting killed or in the corner.
Well, be careful.
Cinematographer Harris Dauber-Lukas highlights the highs and lows of Branagh's boyhood, going to the theater being the most consistent source of escapism and one of the few uses of color. Number 7, Good Night and Good Luck. George Clooney's best directorial outing to date is one of the quintessential films about the importance of journalism.
Are my children going to be asked to denounce me? Are they going to be judged on what their father was labeled?
More specifically, the importance of broadcast journalism. In the 50s, television was not only a new medium for entertainment, but a new source of information. As Senator Joseph McCarthy fuels the Red Scare, journalist Edward R. Murrow uses his platform to spread the truth. Sponsors and his reputation be damned.
I strongly urge you to reconsider your stand. These are very dangerous waters you are attempting to navigate.
While Clooney employs an all-star cast, most notably David Strathairn as Murrow, McCarthy is exclusively portrayed through archival footage, making it impossible to look away from the facts. Since the footage of McCarthy was in black and white, cinematographer Robert Elswit presents the film as if we were watching a 50s news telecast, albeit through a wider, clearer lens.
Since he made no reference to any statements of fact that we made, we must conclude that he found no errors of fact.
Number 6. Sin City. Where most comic book movies continue to take major creative liberties, Robert Rodriguez sought to deliver a faithful adaptation of Sin City, even bringing on Frank Miller as a co-director. Beyond replicating much of the pulpy dialogue from page to screen, Rodriguez's cinematography doesn't stray from the source material's black and white roots.
What if I've imagined all of this? What if I finally turn into what they've always said I was going to turn into? A maniac.
There are glimpses of color to be uncovered. In most modern black and white movies, color usually provides a symbol of hope or innocence.
I'm staring at a goddess. She's telling me she wants me. I'm not going to waste one more second wondering how I've gotten so lucky.
In Sin City, it's often used to foreshadow somebody's grim fate, to spotlight how dangerous a character is, or to intensify the bloody beating somebody is enduring. The result is one of the grittiest and most gorgeous movies we've ever seen, with every frame worthy of an art gallery wall.
Let it in. Let it fill your lungs. They were counting on you, and you blew it.
Number 5. The Artist. Black and white movies are sadly a rarity nowadays, but silent pictures are even harder to come by. Michel Hazanavicius took big swings with The Artist, which paid off with the first Best Picture Oscar for a mostly silent film since the award's inaugural year. Along with cinematographer Guillaume Schiffman, Hazanavicius captures the look and feel of a 1920s picture. Even cast members like Jean Dujardin resemble stars of the silent era. For those who believe silent films are boring, The Artist serves as a reminder of how humorous, charming, romantic, exciting, and tear-jerking a film can be with almost no noise. Sound, like color, certainly has its advantages. By pushing film toward realism, though, cinema's dreamlike quality can be lost. The Artist brings it back.
Perfect! Beautiful. Can you give me just one more?
With pleasure.
Number 4. Ed Wood. Edward Davis Wood Jr. was not a good director. In fact, he may have been the worst Hollywood director to make more than one movie. That doesn't mean he wasn't passionate about his craft. That passion rubbed off on Tim Burton, who did Wood's life story justice in a biopic that's simultaneously romanticized and brutally honest.
Mr. Wood?
Huh?
I only got 1 hour sleep last night.
Yeah, well, I got no sleep and I feel great. Go get him, kid. Go get him.
To do right by the man who gave us Glen or Glenda and Plan 9 from Outer Space, Burton insisted that the film had to be in black and white, even if it meant switching studios. Burton realized his vision with a film that possesses a B-movie spirit, but an A-list cast, script, and cinematography from Stefan Chbosky.
Visions are worth fighting for. Why spend your life making someone else's dreams?
Like Burton's Frankenweenie, to produce Ed Wood in color would have missed the point entirely. Number 3. Roma. Despite winning 3 Oscars, 2 of which were for Alfonso Cuarón's direction and cinematography, we've all met somebody who argues that nothing happens in Roma. Not to sound like a pretentious letterbox user, but life happens in Roma. With the appearance of an old photograph, the film's use of black and white accentuates the dreariness of the titular neighborhood and the trials our characters must overcome. Yet, the cinematography also emphasizes that even when performing the most mundane tasks, something deeper can be happening beneath the surface.
Ah, manita. Nakanito mo niya. Kibuda munisipyo niyo. Gahira kanedanyo. Kanedanyo nanan.
You just have to look closer. Looking closer at protagonist Cleo, we see her evolve from a live-in maid to a beloved member of the family. Roma finds beauty in its simplicity, saying a mouthful with few words or colors.
Te queremos mucho, Cleo. ¿Verdad?
Number 2. Raging Bull. We're not sure what's more shocking, that Martin Scorsese didn't take home the Best Director Oscar for Raging Bull, or that Michael Chapman didn't win for his breathtaking cinematography.
What do you think you're doing out there? Huh? What are you doing out there?
The black and white aesthetic establishes that Jake LaMotta might be a champion, although he isn't somebody we're going to root for. It's just one of the elements that separates Raging Bull from the sports movies we're accustomed to.
Do me a favor. I want you to hit me in the face.
What?
I want you to hit me in the face.
The story isn't about an underdog going the distance. It's about a boxer with 83 wins, but he could never conquer his greatest enemy, himself.
It's gonna be an animal. I'm not an animal. I'm not an animal. Oh, you want to treat me like this? I'm not that bad.
While the film is more about LaMotta's life outside the ring, the boxing sequences are among the most intense ever committed to film, with the black and white photography sharpening every ounce of blood and sweat. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Frances Ha. Before they went all in on pink, Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig embraced black and white. Clerks. Black and white captures the mood of someone who isn't even supposed to be here today.
Oh, what? What's with you, man? You haven't said anything for like 20 minutes. What the hell's your problem?
This life.
This life?
Why do I have this life?
Have some chips, you'll feel better.
She's gotta have it. Spike Lee starts his bold cinematic journey in black and white.
I want you to know the only reason I'm consenting to this is because I wish to clear my name. Not that I care what people think, but enough is enough. And if in the end it helps some other people out, well then that's fine too.
The Elephant Man. The absence of color paints a tragic yet sympathetic portrait of John Merrick.
I am not an elephant! I am not an animal! I am a human being!
The man who wasn't there. Black and white feels so natural that it's as if the camera wasn't there.
Cleanliness, friend. There's money in it. There's a future. There's room to grow. Say, that looks pretty good.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Schindler's List. With Schindler's List, Steven Spielberg sought to represent the Holocaust as authentically as possible.
It was you. You committed this crime.
No, sir.
But you know who, though.
Yes.
The Holocaust might not have been in black and white, but it's hard to imagine this tragedy in color. Part of that's because much of the real-life documented footage is in black and white. More importantly, as Spielberg puts it, the Holocaust was life without light. For me, the symbol of life is color.
Elokeinu melech haolam, boirei pri hagofein. Amen.
As such, A Little Girl in Red stands out as one of the few uses of color, stressing that the Holocaust was happening in plain sight. Yet few world leaders acknowledged its existence. Cinematographer Janusz Kaminski also felt that black and white would give the film a timeless feel, full of unforgettable imagery. Schindler's List is guaranteed to stay with the viewer forever.
I was going to say we'll have a drink then.
I think I better have it now.
Which modern movies do you think benefited the most from black and white? Let us know in the comments.
Wow, it's so cool over here. I hate our neighborhood, man. There's no color. Hey, you don't see colors, do you?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.